Agency charged foreign nurses $20,000 to quit. Now that agency is being required by law to pay out $660,000 in restitution. If this is a video that you're interested to hear about, come, let's dive in. Now, a major development is underway following a federal lawsuit against advanced care staffing previously in New York. The Attorney General, Letitia James, secured over $660,000 in restitution for 71 foreign-born nurses who were subjected to exploitive labor contracts and illegal financial penalties by ACS. Now, they're saying that the Office of the Attorney General found ACS, which is a staffing firm, a New York-based one, that they recruited nurses from abroad and required them to sign contracts with severe penalties for early resignation. Now, the penalties included up to $20,000 to be paid if the nurse resigned or if they were fired before the contract expired. And this contract will normally last for 2 or 3 years. Since 2020, ACS collected these termination policies from 71 nurses, many of whom left due to concerns over understaffing, inadequate patient care, mandatory double shifts, and prolonged periods without days off. The investigation revealed that ACS contracts often provided limited information and discouraged nurses from seeking outside legal advice. Nurses were pressured to sign legal pledges guaranteeing them payment of the penalty if they were left early. Around 2022, ACS escalated enforcement by using arbitration to pursue not only the early termination fee, but also claims for loss of profits and attorney's fee, further increasing the financial threat to nurses. So basically, they're saying if you left early, they wanted the $20,000 and they added more to it in terms of loss of profits and also attorney fees. Now, from this, the Attorney General had required them to pay out the staffing company to pay the nurses $663,000 in restitution to the 71 affected nurses. They are supposed to forgive any outstanding debt related to early termination fees, remove exploited provisions, including mandatory arbitration and unlawful non-complete causes from all current and future contracts, limit any further penalties and restrict contract terms to a maximum of 460 hours, including overtime. Notify all workers of their rights under state and federal laws, including the Trafficking Victims Protection Act. Provide periodic training to employees about their rights and protections. Designate a compliance officer and regular report to the Attorney General on settlement implementation and any complaints from nurses regarding workplace issues or contract disputes. Now, the Attorney General emphasized that nurses are the backbone of the healthcare system and they deserve fair and just treatment. No worker in New York should be forced to choose between their financial security and their basic rights. My office will always fight to ensure nurses across New York can continue their life-saving work free from mistreatment and intimidation. Talked about the impact and the next step for nurses. This settlement marks a significant victory for nurses who were forced to choose between their financial security and their professional and ethical obligations. The Attorney General's action not only provides financial relief to those harmed, but also sets new standard for contract fairness and transparency in nurse recruitment and staffing. Nurses currently or formerly employed by ACS are encouraged to review their contracts and reach out to the Attorney General or legal representatives if they believe that they are affected by these practices or if they have questions about their rights under the new settlement. Now, they're saying that there was a story that was posted with a nurse. According to the Miami Herald, that Aaron Benzor Shem Vidal moved to the U.S. to work for the Brooklyn-based Advanced Care Staffing LLC, but putting in his resignation only after a few months, citing safety and ethical concerns, along with gruel working conditions. However, the agency apparently has had the employees sign contracts that stipulate all employees must work for at least 3 years or they have to pay back all the earned wages. After the company demanded Vidal pay back his wages plus some additional costs, the U.S. Department of Labor got involved, and now they were suing the ACS staffing agencies for illegal labor practices. And that's the end of the article. And that is why I say payday for international nurses. If you're an international nurse that has been recruited by staffing agencies to specific countries and you've not have heard of a term that stated that you have to pay back a significant portion of a debt if you leave a contract right now, I don't know where you are, but consider yourself lucky, because every single person that I've known, including myself, faced some concerns with this. And I'm happy that these nurses spoke out, they sought legal action, and they advocated for their rights, because you do have rights. And that is why we come on here and we preach and we advocate. Make sure you know your rights. In this, we could see some gray areas that I saw when they were forced to sign contracts. They said they were forced. They also received that penalty of $20,000, which I'm in. So far, $20,000 is rather cheap. Some of us have heard $40,000 and $50,000. And when you ask, could you give an itemized bill? An itemized bill cannot be given. And I'm happy that they saw redress from this. And now the company is expected to pay back $666,000 to these 71 nurses that are and have been affected. And I can tell you, this is not just 71 alone. There are many out there that have gone through this and faced significant penalties, but suffered in silence, and even may have been more worse than this. But I hope that I know this article and what happened in New York, it's not the first, and we have seen countless of them where the Labor Department gets involved, and then a lot of penalties are forced on the staffing agency, and they end up have to pay back these nurses. But it has become quite common, and I think we need to have something that is clear and cut across the board, because it should not be, especially if you're working in understaffing and you have poor pay that these nurses are receiving, and when they speak out, it's as if it's a problem. But guess what? It's not a problem. Find the right persons, find legal advice, even if they have their own legal lawyers and persons that are working for them. I strongly always tell individuals, find persons who are outside that realm, because many times persons will be working for a certain agency and just represent them and just repeat back what they're saying. But I'm here to tell you guys that you have rights, and that is why it's important that you read, follow news, follow persons who have walked the path already and who are experienced, so you can prevent yourself in making some choices that will affect you in the long run. If you have concerns, and this is what we do over here, this page isn't just created just to come on here and say that I am on YouTube. I walked the path already, and I saw what that path came with, and I experienced some things that I did not like. And that is why I sat down and coined the name Empowered RN, to empower you with information and knowledge. And when they say knowledge is power, that's why I created Empower RN. I did not like some of the things that I saw, and I decided to open my mouth and to come online and to share. And with me sharing this had led now to a global reach, a lot of persons reaching out. Guess what? So we have to be the change that we want to see. And I am sure that the many persons who saw me reading this and listening to this can see that you face something like this in one shape or form or the other. There are many persons who can say, oh, I got redress, or other persons can say, I did not receive redress. But guess what? Suffered in silence. And we're here today. You hear what the Attorney General says? Reach out to them if you have concerns. Reach out to the Department of Labor if you have concerns. Don't just sit and just take everything. Read widely. Ask persons who have walked the path like you. I remember recently a friend of mine reached out to me and showed me a contract, and I said to her, do not sign that. And I do read contracts and we'll go through it and tell you guys, listen, go back and ask about this question and listen when these questions are being asked and look at the answers that you are given. Don't be afraid to reach out to persons. And if you're watching this right now and want to reach out, you can shoot me an email and I'll gladly assist you guys. You need to understand that when you're signing some of these contracts, you are literally going into a mutual agreement that you're going to last for 2 to 3 years, and it may be difficult and hard to come out of. But incidents like these and problems like these that did occur and the nurses sought redress, they may happen. But in other cases, sometimes it was a group of 71 of them. Who knows who was the first person to speak up about this? But make sure you pay attention and ask for help. Do not suffer in silence. All right, guys, so let me know what you think about this article, and I'll see you guys in the comment section. That is why I said this is payday for international nurses. I'm happy to see when we get what we deserve in that of payback in terms of money's worth and everything that you endured in terms of moving from your home country. And you know, a lot of exploitive contracts are out there, some exploitive agencies. I've heard of people relocating, showing up and there was no job, showing up and being moved all over the place. And you need to understand that, how am I going to say this? I want you guys to understand that many of these persons, when they reach out to you, you need to have your ducks in a row, and I've always spoken about it. Make sure you have a plan of how you're going to survive and how you're going to live. Agencies, for me, are a business, and that's where it stops. A business. So you need to look out for your own self and your own family to the greatest, to 100%. Have your ducks in a row, because it is a business at the end of the day. And make sure, I always say to person, if you're taking on this journey, you are benefiting and the business is also going to be benefiting. So it should be mutual. It shouldn't be one side benefiting and another side benefiting or not. Anyways, guys, I like you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you stay with us to the end of this video, a thumbs up to you, and thank you for liking. Also, please share this video with your friends and colleagues who should know about this or who you think would benefit from this. What do you think about this right now? I'm super excited that the nurses got their redress and they're getting back $661,000 payback, because people need to understand that it's a business and they do make large amount of sum. And based on what I see to be shared among 71 people, payday for you, and I'm happy for you. And if anyone that is out there suffering in silence, please don't. Reach out for help, whether it's physical, mental, or financial. Reach out for help, because you do have a personal right. Thank you for watching Empowered RN, and we'll see you in another video, and we'll see you guys in the comment section. What do you think about this article? Let me know. I'll see you.